I think most traditional rap fans or Wu-Tang heads became excited when they found out that Ghostface will be dropping a new album because it has been about 5 years since his last release. What is good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Mob. If you are rocking with this content, go ahead and smash that like button up for your boy. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. But today, I'm going to be hitting y'all with my thoughts on this new project from Ghostface Killah entitled Set the Tone, Guns N' Roses. Mr. Tony Starks, the Wallaby champ, Ghostface Killah. He is a legendary veteran MC and a staple in New York City hip-hop. Ghostface is one of the best storytellers in the game, and I think many would agree that if we are talking about Wu-Tang solo albums, he has the strongest catalog out of all the members. But this new project, Set the Tone, Guns N' Roses, it is the first album that we have gotten from Ghostface since 2019. And this time, it is released on Nas's Mass Appeal record label, and it contains 19 songs lasting approximately 53 minutes. There are quite a bit of features, which isn't out of ordinary for a Ghost project, but definitely more featured artists than usual. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with that track-by-track breakdown. The opener, 6 minutes, features Jim Jones and Sheek Louch, and it's set to some eerie keys that gives it that gutter New York feel, almost like something from that Wu Block era, but more modern. The hook, 6 minutes, borrows from Dougie Fresh's This Show, so that was a cool nod to the old school. Ghost sets it off with a dope verse. One line that stood out was, "Even when I don't speak, I'm still entertaining you." Both Jim Jones and Sheek Louch has solid performances as well. So yeah, as a whole, it was a dope opener to set the tone, just like the album title suggests. Track 2, Pair of Hammers featuring Method Man, is one of the highlights, and this has a dusty horn-back beat, and both Ghost and Meth doing a nice back and forth. Both are using the slower flow here, and on the hook, they do interpolate some of Method Man's hook from The What. So this track is dripping with that Wu-Tang nostalgia. It's fun, but still grimy, and I do have Method Man as the MVP lyrically. And right after is another high point on the album, that Skate Odyssey with Raekwon the Chef. This is a glistening, soulful groove that feels old school, yet with a modern twist. And October London did an excellent job of channeling that skate jam era energy with his vocals. Yeah, this one is a vibe, a complete bop that both Ray and Ghost sound right at home over. It's the type of record that will instantly put you in a good mood, and you know, Ray and Ghost show you why they are both still one of the nicest duos to this day. Yeah, Skate Odyssey will likely be a favorite for many Wu-Tang heads. Next is Scar Tissue, which was the first single from the album featuring Nas. So I'm still on the fence a bit with this record. I know, I hate to admit it because it features Nas, but lyrically, neither of these two are the problem. And sure, while I do feel that this track does sound better on the album than it did as a lone single, I'm still not in love with the instrumental. The rapping from Ghost and Nas is dope indeed, especially Nas, but I do feel, given the magnitude of these two artists collabing, that the instrumental just could have been a little better. But am I nitpicking here? Is there anyone out there who loved this beat? If so, let me know in the comments. Following this is Kilo in the Safe, and it has a frantic string loop that went pretty hard, and the energy on this record is there. And I'm not sure if it's the feature, but something about this track did remind me of something that we would have gotten on, let's say, a Meth Lab album from Method Man. Y'all just get the compilation vibes I'm talking about. Like, it's not bad, but it does feel a little mixtape-like in quality. Then after a skit is No Face featuring Kanye, and it is one of the standouts. Now, it's actually produced by Easy LP instead of Kanye, but we do get a verse from Ye. And let me say, I really enjoyed the soulful piano-heavy beat. It was playful, vintage, and a throwback to that 70s era, as Ghost is a 70s baby. And he mentions that this track took him back to his childhood of watching Good Times and What's Happening. So overall, Great instrumental, and the mighty healthy drums was a nice touch. Ghost had 2 solid verses. While Kanye didn't sound awful, he did have some sex bars that were a bit cringy, but flow-wise, it sounded like the old Kanye. What follows is Champion Sound featuring Benetton. Now here we get an up-tempo soundboy-like instrumental. I did appreciate the reggae feel, and the inclusion of BDPs, the bridges over drums, was dope. Yeah, this one was a bit of a banger. I'm not gonna hold you. Subsequent track is Cape Fear featuring Fat Joe and Harley. Now this has some nighttime keys that were cinematic. Overall, it's a pretty solid backdrop. That did have more of a contemporary New York sound. The auto-tune hook was just kind of but it wasn't enough to ruin the track for me. And Ghost came through with some hard, funny lines like "Jury's so heavy, that's why I pop Tylenol." Also, come on your block like dudes waving sticks like Merlin. Like, who else could use Merlin in this context like Ghost and make it sound dope? And the Don Joseph Cartagena had a solid performance as well, but he always tends to when he is rapping alongside New York City legends. Now, Fat Joe also recently had a good verse on that AZ album. But here, Joey Crack stated, we've been toe tagging MFers since the Purple Tape. Now, the second half of this album has a drastically different sound and vibe. We are getting some wavy R&B styled production with syrupy R&B pop-like vocals throughout. So it's not going to be for everyone, but it does fit with the Roses theme of the album title. Like track 11, Plan B, it features Harley on the hook, and it's got a wavy, watery backdrop that was cool. With Ghostface doing some raunchy storytelling, he's painting quite a picture here. Yeah, sonically, this one is alright. Perhaps it may grow on me, but I don't know if I'm going to return to it. The same could be said for the following song, Bad Bitch with Ja Rule and Trevor Jackson. Now, this record definitely does channel some early 2000s rap pop vibes for sure. It's not bad, and I might be in the mood for it someday, but I can't say it's a favorite for me. Although the following song, Locked In, featuring AZ, now this is a great R&B / rap record. The instrumental seems tailor-made for AZ, and the two glide over it, instantly taking us back to the late 90s and early 2000s. Almost with a track masters-like feel. Yeah, I would say that this was the best song for me on the second part of the album. Right after is Touch You, which has the famous Mario sample. Yeah, it's not terrible, but I do feel this sample is a bit cliche. It is a smooth bop that some are going to appreciate, though, nonetheless. Then there is track 15, Shots, with Busta Rhymes, and it's a breezy dance hall meets pop record that I can see getting some radio play as we head into the summer months. It's club-like, and it does make you think of drinking on the beach, so it's going to appeal to some folks for sure. And I'm not even mad at Ghost for attempting this type of vibe. After this is Trap Fun with Chucky Hollywood. Okay, so I do get Ghost experimenting with the wavy auto-tune, but I did find this to be a generic record on the album. While the beat was solid and Ghost is doing a double time flow, I found the extended auto-tune hook to be a bit much. The second and last track is the outro, and this is where Ghost reveals the Supreme Clientele 2 is scheduled to drop next. Fingers crossed. Then this album does wrap up on a strong note with the banger, Yup, featuring Remy Ma. Ghost's energy is on 10 here. The beat is catchy, and Remy did her thing as well. It's definitely a summertime New York banger that you could rock your Yankee blue fitted with a crisp white tee. So overall, I'm gonna give this project a rating of a 3 to 3.5 mics. I say it's a solid return album for Ghostface, but I did enjoy the first half much more than the second. And while I still didn't find the production on the first half to be flawless, it did appeal more to me than the Roses portion. And the second leg of this album did remind me a bit of what Ghost did on his Ghostini, the Wizard of Poetry project some years back. The vibe on this section of the album, it is not going to be for everyone, and some traditionalists may even hate what's on this part. But I could appreciate Ghost for, wanting to step out the box a bit. And I think he did it in a tasteful enough way. I mean, sonically, the second half of this record is still better than the recent Busta Rhymes album with his attempts to do something similar. But we also have to remember that Ghostface is no stranger for making R&B style tracks. And I really can see some folks gravitating towards the second half as we officially enter in the summertime, because those records are on the smoother, mellower side. But yeah, at the end of the day, I do think this is a decent album that shows his versatility, and it has a little bit of something for everybody. My favorite tracks include 6 Minutes, Pair of Hammers, Skate Odyssey, No Face, Cape Fear, Locked In, and Yup. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Muff. I'm signing out. As always, it's peace and blessings. Ghostface setting the tone. One.